Hello. So today I'd like to talk about um, what to do to find your way in difficult times. And this is a question that has come up for me a lot recently um, because of these COVID-19 quarantine times and just with things being out of sync with how they normally are. Um, you may find that you're in a similar situation where you don't know exactly what to do, where there are different people in your life that are giving you advice, um, that are basically telling you to apply yourself, to continue with your classes, apply for jobs, and basically to keep yourself busy. Um, and I find that a lot of my friends are also in this situation, but there's also this other side to it where uh, you're maybe doing all these things and you're just finding that you're not really satisfied at the end of the day, and that could be for a number of reasons. Um, Maybe you just don't feel like what you're doing is really amounting to anything or is really giving you what you want, and then you're probably just asking some of those big what if questions like what is the meaning of life, um, what would happen if I did such and such a thing, do I make did I make the right decision, and how do I make the right decisions going forward. And I just want to share my 2 cents with you on this. um, Basically, the first thing that you have to realize is that everything is going to change. That the only given in life really are, well, death and taxes, but that things are going to change, and whether if that's good or bad, um, if things are working out for you or you're losing a lot of things, they're going to change. And so, if you're in a bad situation now, just know that it is temporary, and um, there's that popular saying, "This too shall pass," and basically that is something that I found has given me some solace in these times. That this too will pass, and also if you are in a good situation where you're relatively satisfied and things are looking up, uh, basically I'm just telling you to just enjoy it while it lasts, because everything is going to end eventually. Even our own lives on a larger level, and basically, we just have to take it day by day and really just enjoy the things that you have, just to try to have gratitude, and that is really what is going to give you a lot of just a lot of contentment in your life. Um, but okay, going back to the bad things though, if you're watching this video, you're probably in that situation as I am right now. Just I right now do not have a job. I do not have any classes to teach. I am evaluating things in my life and basically asking some of those big what if questions. What would have happened if I had done certain things, and um, basically one thing that I've realized is that a lot of sadness and depression really comes from uh, comparing your life now to what you think you should have. Basically, expectations you may have had as a child, as a teenager, growing up, even just from 6 months ago or even 2 weeks ago. Um, Basically, if your situation now matches what you thought you should have now, then that's generally going to make you feel good. Um, but in many cases, it's not exactly going to match. And, whether, you don't have the career that you want, don't have the relationship that you want, aren't getting the feedback and appreciation from people that you deserve, things aren't necessarily going to match up. And, even when things are looking up, as I look back on my own life and think about my own successes, uh, when things were looking up for me, I didn't have everything either. That it was just I had some things that were good and some things that weren't, and this constant comparison between what you have now and what you wanted to have in this narrative of your life, this kind of I like to think of it as a novel that I've been writing about my life, and also what's going to happen to me in the future. In this novel, the future will be written out for a few chapters, for a few years, depending on how much of a planner you are. Basically, till the day you die, and people are constantly comparing that version of themselves to their current selves, and this is really the source of most pain, I think. And if you are finding yourself um, in a difficult situation and really questioning some of those things, where did I go wrong? What is wrong with me? Why am I such an idiot? All of these questions that we torture ourselves with. Um, there's basically, two things that you can do. Either you can change your life to change, the outward signs, just work towards getting those goals. But the second thing that you could do is to actually change the novel of your life, to change the narrative of your life story that you're writing. Um, and It's not necessarily a question of which strategy is better. I find that the best strategy is to do both, to do a little bit of both. And depending on where you are in your life, you could be focusing on, well, you might have the power to change one a little bit more than the other. Um, During these quarantine times, like, a lot of us have lost a lot of things, lost jobs, lost social status, lost, people that were important to us, and people, if not someone dying through the disease, but just in seeing them on a day-to-day basis. A lot of us have lost that social, just that social community that we used to have, and so, there is a lot of loss that we are experiencing right now, and that's not something that is unique to you, but something that everyone is experiencing. And basically, um, like, on the surface level, you do want to change the the facts of your life, meaning, if you are running out of money, then you want to get a job as quickly as you can, just to be very practical and try to think of things that you can do to bring about the things that you need in your life. Um, but the second thing, which is changing your life's narrative, that is something that everyone has the power to do, to basically look back on their lives and evaluate it, and just try to look at it in a different way. Um, if you look at the stories that we have been told growing up, just stories we've learned in school and have watched in movies and read in books, basically, things don't work out the way that people want them to. Uh, since the dawn of time, basically, that you're not going to get everything that you want, and uh, it doesn't have to be a curse. Like, um, you can start to view it as a blessing. Like, what if, like, instead of asking the question, am I going to get to heaven, or does heaven exist? What about asking the question, what if I'm in heaven now, and am I appreciating it the way I should be? Am I or am I wasting it, basically? And I think that all of us are guilty of that, to a small extent, that we um, have a real tendency to forget all of these little blessings that we have in our lives, from our family, our friends, um, pets, nature. Just that there are so many things to be grateful for. Just if you're on YouTube watching this now, that you have access to that kind of technology, that you're able to live and have these extras on the side. Like, if you have enough food to eat, a roof over your head, a lot of the things that we take for granted, these are things to be grateful for, and these are things that not everyone has, and that not everyone in history has had such easy access to. That we nowadays, the average person lives basically the way a king would in the medieval ages, just with the access to technology and just the economic infrastructure that we have. That we have access to so many things, and it's just practicing these little acts of gratitude really help to ground you and to help you find direction. Um, and really, the thing that I wanted to say is that when you're looking for direction in your life, like in this time, I really have gone through weeks and just periods of just uh, of darkness and questioning and just wondering, where did I go wrong, what, just mulling over the things that I've lost, and just basically beating myself up over things that I didn't do or didn't do enough of. And again, back to that first thing that I was saying, that this too shall pass, that everything will change eventually. Um, you know, Change is guaranteed. That when you're really down in just down in the ravine, in the doldrums, uh, you can look up at the stars. Some of us are in the gutter, but we can still see the stars, and it's going to change. And just even for me, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I I do have this sort of faith that things are going to get better. And um, when you're talking to your family and friends, and they're also giving you advice and telling you about things that you should be doing for yourself, um, you know, um, on one hand, that some of that will be practical, um, down to earth sort of advice that you do want to incorporate into your life. Um, but part of that is also just reading between the lines, and just knowing that they're there for you and that they care about you. And sometimes that is the best message of all, just that you have these people that want to see you doing well, and hope that you get better, and that that you're talking to, hopefully, and just communicating with during this time. And that to still have that sense of being part of a community is really something that can help you to find direction. Um, and especially for you younger people watching this, people are going to give you a lot of advice throughout your life. Some that you want, and some probably that you don't want, and probably didn't even ask for. But um, but again, these are people that care about you and want to see you doing well, and they're trying to give you different ideas to try out. And even if you don't follow everything that they say, uh, it's important to just put it all together and to get the real message out of it. To use that sense of inner intuition that you have, um, and also you may be doing a lot of things, like applying for maybe jobs that you don't necessarily want, and having asking bigger questions like, um, how do I know if this is something I'm going to want to do a year from now or 10 years from now? Um, there might be other things that you're thinking of, that may not have been, let's say, economically feasible or really promising in the past. But if you find that your mind keeps going back to it over and over again, and that you're thinking about certain things over and over, um, it could be that's something that you should actually pursue. That I'm talking about specifically more of these creative, artistic, and even possibly spiritual goals that you may have. And um, you know, th- basically things that you wanted to do, but maybe discouraged yourself from doing because it seemed so hard, or it seemed that um, it just wasn't going to make enough money, or really like give you the things that you wanted. But if you find that your mind keeps going back to it over and over again, maybe that's actually trying to tell you something, that you should actually pursue that. And um, even though you're going to have a lot of friends and family and just people, teachers maybe, just telling you about things that you should be doing, it's important to also keep uh, keep that part of yourself that is sort of keeping the dream alive of really aspiring for more and trying to do more. This is a time of great loss for people and of great change, but it's also a time of great opportunity that we have a lot of time to ourselves now to reflect and to talk to people, also to spend on um, reading and watching videos and just reflecting, and that could be an opportunity in itself to basically create something that could really speak to people. um, and I know that I have a lot of just creative dreams that I have, and I'm not the only one. Like, I know that other people have them too, and just you don't know what the future has in store for you. So like it could work. I know a lot of you are um, basically holding yourselves back. Well, okay, I'm holding myself back because of fears that I've had before, but with all this time, I'm coming to see that it's also a time to explore and to do things that I have always wanted to do, and um, that really is what gives a little bit of purpose to my day and makes me look forward to the future a bit more. And um, and just if you have fears about the future, about things working out, people backing you up, and just um, gathering the resources that you need to do the projects that you want. uh, my advice is just to stay hopeful and to just again remember that everything changes, and that um, no one knows what the future has in store for them. That it could be much more positive than you've ever dreamed. That you ever thought would be realistic, and um, and really just to hold on to that part of yourself, and try to be true to yourself. And the other thing, if your mind keeps going back to a certain thing over and over again, it could be something that you're also afraid of, as well as something that you're aspiring to. Um, Sometimes I think the best thing to do is to do the hardest thing, and like I know I definitely have a tendency to do the easiest thing, or just the thing that I think will have the most direct results. Um, because no one wants to waste their time. That you want to do things that are uh, going to allow you to reach certain goals and milestones. But uh, on the other hand, that could also be a fear, and it could also be stopping you from doing things. But um, I think that doing the hardest thing, the thing that you're most afraid of, is something that you should do. That life is short, and it at the end of the day, or at the end of your lifespan, the things that you're going to regret are the things that you didn't do. And basically, you don't want to be at that point where you're asking yourself, what if I had done those things? What would my life be like then? um, and so basically, you can't you can't escape your dreams. Like, you many people have a tendency to downplay their dreams, and to try to reason out why they shouldn't do certain things. um, and, and basically, if you want something really badly, you're not going to be able to repress it, without consequences. Like, it's going to come back. um, if this is something that your soul is really reaching out for, and just keeps bringing, your mind just keeps bringing you back to that point over and over again, that maybe you should finally listen to it. Just put the fears aside, and just do the thing that is really hard, that is really challenging, and just hope for the best. you know um, if you really want to be realistic about it, you might fail. Sure, that's a possibility. um, but actually accepting that failure, just thinking about that failure as something that already happened, is something that has helped me a lot. And just like you, I think embracing failure is really a great strategy, because every failure uh, is really a stepping stone on the way to success. That whenever you fail, you learn about what things you shouldn't do, what things to change, and that's going to help you to get to your goal. Uh, so again, this goes back to my point of just revisiting that novel of your life and just rewriting it, or just looking at look at it from a different perspective. That it's not just about the things that you've lost. It's about what you can do with that loss, and just where it could take you. It could be that the failures that you've had in life are um, just preparing you for something else, for a different kind of success. And that's basically something that you should just embrace. Since uh, you can't stop all the bad things from happening. You can't on the other side, you can't stop the good things from happening. It doesn't really make sense, but things are going to happen. They're going to change. They're going to happen to you. You're not going to have control over everything, so you might as well just embrace all these changes and stop trying to fight it, and stop punishing yourself. Just stop beating yourself up over the things that you've lost and the things that you didn't do. That they're um, again, you don't know what the future has in store for you. So try to look up a little bit. Just um, try to enjoy the day. Just try to enjoy your life. Um, don't give up. Um, but just look at each day as a new present to be unwrapped. And there are going to be a lot of things that are going to depress and disappoint you. But but there's going to be a day after that, and a day after that, and you just have to play it by ear, and just go with it. Just unpack it day by day.